Are we? I know we're all. Everybody who's online and everybody who's in the room who didn't hear Maggie's introduction. My name's Jeff Sailing. As you might have guessed from the last name, we are married, and I am one of the co-founders at StartUpNV, which we started back in 2016. And I want to thank everybody, whether you're online or whether you're here in the room with us, for being part of Demo Day, the final session of our third cohort. Oh, there's two final sessions today and tomorrow. This is the final cohort of our third cohort for Incubate Vegas, and that's a program sponsored by Clark County to help founders in the idea phase of their startups to understand the journey from idea to getting started to raising capital, and if that is a goal of yours. Demo Day is kind of like the final essay for the course, where founders incorporate the lessons from the previous weeks into an 8-minute pitch about their business. Now, the goal of the pitch is to inspire potential investor, co-founder, partner, other key stakeholder curiosity. You want them to have questions that they need to know more about from your 8-minute pitch. You don't have to explain everything in 8 minutes. So you want to leave them curious, and hopefully they'll say, "I'd like to hear more." That's the idea. Now, as you and other members of the community hear the pitches today, ask yourselves, has the founder put you in that curious state of mind? So that's the idea here, is to leave people curious. And so what happens beyond Demo Day? You know, at StartUpNV, we have some other programs, Incubate Vegas and Founder NV, to name two specific programs. And they're sort of a natural next step from the Incubate Vegas program. And that they take the most logical next steps to continue with a more structured program and access to mentorship. There's other programs around town here in Vegas that are a bit unstructured, that give you access to different things, mentors and other things, like the SBDC has a program for getting loans. SCORE has a program for mentorship. Tech Alley and Startup Vegas have programs that are, I would call them fellowship, right? There's no, it's not structured, but you can go there and pitch and meet other people who are in a similar situation. And as the founders pitching today have learned, the entrepreneurial journey is not an easy one or a short one. It takes courage and fortitude, and Demo Day and pitching are ways to demonstrate those traits. Congratulations to the founders for making it here today. Thank you for your fortitude and for demonstrating courage to all who are part of the program and who are watching today online or who will be watching later on the YouTube channel. Not only are you putting your idea out there for all to see, but you're opening yourself up to questions, criticism, and hopefully curiosity as well. And that's not easy. And it's not easy. I mean, you guys, you're all living in a world that's filled with opportunities, and choosing from among them, deciding how to spend your time and your life is an important decision. For me, the goal is to live a life that matters, to do good in the world, to leave footprints. Entrepreneurship, as you've learned, isn't just about starting companies. It's more of an approach to life. It's about making good things happen that haven't been done or seen before, starting things from scratch to create value that never existed, innovating, then implementing, and making something happen that creates a tangible result, something that has value. Now, at StartUpNV, we work with all kinds of entrepreneurs, and they generally share a set of common characteristics. They're creative because they're dissatisfied with the ordinary. The most creative people are the ones who believe they're creative, and all of you, I'm sure, do. They're courageous because they're doing something new and understand it doesn't always work out. You know, you think you're risk averse, but naivete, see, that works just as well. It can make you look courageous when you don't know all the things that can go wrong. Entrepreneurs are visionaries. In quiet moments, they're thinking about the future. They're thinking about their role in it. They're imagining what the value that they can create going forward. And they're not looking at the world and asking why. They're looking at the world and asking, why not? Entrepreneurs are stubborn. Some others might think of it, a better word is determined. Things don't always work out, but failure, wait a second. Are we okay? Okay. But failure doesn't come from defeat. It only happens when you stop trying. So if you don't give up, you'll never fail. Entrepreneurs are leaders. And I like this definition of leaders, that leaders give credit and take blame. And there's a quote that that's been attributed to a number of different people, that there's no limit to what you can achieve as long as you don't care who gets the credit. And people yearn for leadership, for truth tellers, and you can be a role model and are a role model in the community by being a leader. And the Robert Frost, the poet, wrote about this in his poem, "Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. Be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that's made all the difference." So we're not going to go back to college and try to tell you how to interpret poetry, but I think that's a pretty simple message from that poem. And it's life is about choices, and it's about dreams and destiny. And a dream can lift you and others up. It can inspire. And the other point of it is if you don't have a dream, how can you make a dream come true? Because there's no guarantees that your dreams or anybody's dreams will come true or the destiny will be realized. For most, it never happens because it requires decisions, daring, doing, discipline, and determination. A dream without courage and commitment remains just that, a dream. To fulfill your destiny, you must feel the forces and seize the moment, sense why you're here, and then live it. Don't give up. And life, I think, is about never giving up, about making a positive difference in the world, about leaving footprints, living life as an entrepreneur. And if you live your life as an entrepreneur, in whatever your endeavors may be and where your talents lead, I guarantee you there'll be two benefits. The first is you're going to touch, in a positive way, the lives of others. And second, you're going to experience the greatest satisfaction a human can, other than raising your kids. This is, I think, is the greatest satisfaction a human can achieve. And that's the satisfaction of looking at the world, seeing something good in it, and knowing that didn't exist before you had the idea and took action. It's there because of you. Now, I've been part of a bunch of different startups that went to IPO, raised a lot of money, and had some success. And that's all well and good. But the proudest moment of the things I've accomplished is being among those who started StartUpNV. The work that we all do teaching entrepreneurs and helping founders and teaching investors of getting started. Now, I'm convinced that StartUpNV will achieve the intended purpose that we set out to do. That's my dream. That's the dream of the folks who are here, and I hope they all share it, and I hope that you share it. And you, all of you who are here today, are helping that dream come true, not only for you, but for me as well. And I thank you for that. I thank you for your courage, for being here today, for going through this process, for standing up here in front of the room and in front of the millions of people who I'm sure are watching on YouTube Live right now. It takes a lot of guts and a lot of courage to dream out loud in front of everybody. So keep doing it. I'm excited to hear what you're about to tell us. I'm curious. So we're going to start off here right now with Danielle Givens, who's going to come up. And she's going to tell us about her company and her startup. And I can't wait to be curious. Danielle, it's over to you.
Hi, I'm Danielle Givens, and thank you for having me. And also thank you to the instructors, to the mentors for facilitating. This has been a really great experience, and I'll actually share a really good aha moment that I had while actually preparing this deck. That's actually going to help me shift into a more profitable segment. So to introduce myself, I'm Danielle Givens. I'm the mama coach, and the problem is that there are so many aspects of parenting that can be challenging. We've got feeding, breastfeeding, bottle feeding, formula feeding, pumping, then we make it to weaning, starting solids, choking, CPR, and then the big one, sleep. We all know that's the first thing that everyone says is right out the window when it comes to having a baby. And then on top of all of that, every single child is different. It's not one size fits all. What works for your first child may not work for your second, third, or even your fourth. And then it's really tough for parents to find credible information. There is the internet. We've got people who can just punch things into AI and get some kind of summary, but is it going to be correct? So the solution is evidence-informed education and support from a registered nurse. This is information that parents can trust because not only am I licensed by, I'm also held to the standards of practice by the Nevada State Board of Nursing and actually the state boards of nursing in about half of the other states in the country. And I provide personal and customized support for every single child. I use the nursing lens to assess the child as a whole. That way I can find any gaps that could potentially need referrals out to other medical practitioners. I provide convenient scheduling and location. You can go right onto my website, find a time that works for you, and book either a virtual visit or for me to come to your home for no extra cost. And these services reduce parental anxiety, sleep deprivation, and negative health outcomes. Even something as simple as parents knowing that if you're bottle feeding your baby, you need to make sure that you're switching which side you're holding them. That way we can promote equal development of their eyes, their neck, and the rest of their body. It's a small thing, but a lot of people don't know it, and it can make a huge difference in that developing child. So my aha moment came when it went to looking at competition, because my history and my experience is in high-risk obstetrics. I was thinking, you know, the big thing that I'm going to be pushing is my prenatal classes, because I know that intimately. But as I did market research, every OBGYN office, every midwife, every doula, and either other people are offering prenatal classes. But starting solids, there's not one. There's not another one I could find in Vegas. There's also not another standalone bottle or formula feeding class that's here. There's things for breastfeeding. They may include bottle or formula in a full prenatal class or a feeding class, but 42% of kids in Nevada are breastfeeding by the age of 6 months, or they are not breastfeeding by the age of 6 months. They're formula and bottle feeding. And there's a lot of intricacies when it comes to choosing a formula or even choosing a type of bottle and a type of bottle nipple. And there needs to be accessible information for that sector as well, because that's almost half of our parents. When it comes to infant CPR, there's only one course offered that is not for certification. It's by UMC, it's free, but it's only once a month. So if that class doesn't fit with your schedule, then guess what? I've got you covered. I can come to your house, or you can do it virtually, though I do prefer that class to be hands-on. And then when it comes to sleep consultants, this is where you can see how I rank with the other ones that I was able to find on Google, Yelp, and social media. And actually, between these three other companies, there's only one review that's been posted in the last 3 years. None of them have they either don't have a social media presence or it has not been updated in at least 4 years. So I'm not actually even sure if I do have competition out there. My business model is based on individualized assessments, consults, and support. Some of these are a one-off in the form of just a workshop or a class, and then some of them do consist of multiple visits to help parents reach whatever goal it is that they've set for themselves. I also provide group classes as well that are a little more economical because they don't involve that individualized assessment component, but they do provide comprehensive education. A little bit about me. I am a registered nurse. I've had my bachelor's of science in nursing since 2016. All of my experience is in high-risk labor and delivery. I've worked at 3 different facilities here in Las Vegas. I have attended over 1,000 different birthday parties, so I do like to call myself a birthday specialist. And then my ask for today is just for connections. I'm looking for business collaborations. I would love to be part of a benefits package for a company who is looking to truly support parents. If we have parents that are sleep deprived, if we have parents that are worried because they're just switched last week from breastfeeding to bottle feeding, and they're worried, is my baby even going to take this bottle of formula at daycare? They're really not going to have the best performance that they could. And I think that companies could really lend a hand to making sure that these parents are prepared and would look great for them as well. I also would love to do lunch and learns to offer education. And I would also be looking for sponsorship to help with some of the community activities that I would like to do, such as partnering with libraries to do a story time, and then an educational component for parents as well, to partner with churches, to have classes and support groups for underserved groups and communities, and then also just to connect with local parenting groups as well. So you can find all of my information here. My email is danielle.givens@themamacoach.com. My website's there as well, and I would love to be a part of helping make parenthood easier for all parents in Las Vegas.
Good job, Danielle.
Thank you.
Way to go. Fantastic. So Fernando is up next. I will retrieve my pen. I will hand it off. Great job. Great uniform, too. Yeah, so yeah, Maggie was just saying that that there are a few people that were expected that I'm saying this for the people online that aren't here. So we will just go in the order from the schedule, even so it may not happen at the exact time that you're scheduled, but we're just going to go in that same order. And if we call somebody and they're not either here or ready to go online, we'll just go to the next person. So welcome to being a founder when things don't go as planned or as scheduled. So no, you can take your 8. Got to make us curious in 8 or less. I'm curious about the mama.
Thank you for attending, everybody online and live. Pre-connection, here's the logo based on Stephen Fowler's first idea. When you permit this, maybe the 20,000 run, we'll see how that. Any networking, which doing and where applicant, the job role that I was coming in, building the UI, actively building, etc. Well, as maybe some lobbying if you build a free grant government. So intro would be, I'm a founder that utilizes decision making as a runner for life. Graduated primary education, all 8 marks, despite being placed in advanced government history, computer, sports tech. Voted by the social studies faculty that gets the President Data Report Award, Southeast Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh, falling apart again. Let's use this one. I know is.
Nobody. Okay, I gotta restart my 8 minutes. Here we go. We'll go all the way. Okay. Everybody probably seen the logo already, at least. Didn't have to speak too much about that. Mainly based on constellation, and the month I was born, and my buddy who helped me start the conception of it. Now we're on to introing my background as a decision maker who uses my running lifestyle in all aspects of life. I graduated with all A marks, even though I was put in advanced placement as a senior who could have just slacked off, right? We all remember. Voted by the social studies faculty to be handed the Fred P. Davenport Award among 300 students in Southeast Michigan. That's Theodore Roosevelt in Wyandotte. I continuously always try to draw parallels from literature that I really do believe is a foundation for how we continue in life today, from Aristotle and William James. And so Tim Berners-Lee and Mark Andreessen, most likely, we would like to implement throughout the entire next Web3 framework. My secondary education was at University of Michigan, and I entered there with 4 college credits and pursued a mechanical engineering degree. Also, I have a background in sales and sold a $100,000 RV in 10 days at General RV, the largest family dealership in America. The competitive advantage is the novelty of the invention, my personal intuition, and last mover advantage to troubleshoot without using code. There will be more advantages outlined, but mainly it's the value impact proposition as a founder to stimulate gross domestic product with environmental safety and governance. So the go-to market plan is to leverage the personnel patents, and founders' impact proposition for word of mouth growth. We're going to have AI ready in any way it wants to see fit to demo the most dynamic of influencer or even conglomerate digital footprints. So this company is swimming in a TAM currently at $320 billion globally, set to clear a T, that's $1 trillion, in 8 years. The addressable market is our United States at 230, set to hit 3/4 of $1 trillion by 2032. Who I can serve right now, as far as SOM is concerned, obtainably, it's all you who can hear my voice today or view the demo online or white paper. So I would just ask that you start by utilizing your current home screen, 2 words, home screen, to remember a powerful cliche term that propels your individualistic intent daily. To gather, travel, and rest, of course. So that's out of sight, out of mind, to use those folders, please. And labels. Key demos, we got Kamala Harris, all the way to people like Gary Vaynerchuk, and we all know how big their digital footprints can be. Feature is the main novelty of indexing search, any search, streaming, or social platform in their entirety, based on even calls to action like hashtags, albums, tabs, reviews, and a non-pictorial list display. Branded apps in-house can also get displayed this way. And there's some visuals over there if you get a chance. Checkpoints are back when I was doing this as a just hobby, still trying to keep it one. I did one for Crumble Cookies and Catch through just Instagram and DM and getting their permission. There's the white paper on July 4th, revised March 22nd. And prior art search there. We got approval from, we meaning just I, approval from Miss Addison Ray's team to put just a fan page in the corner there, because money wasn't getting, it was just all getting directed to her actual IP. And the goal is to become a sovereign software. Define the problem. Well, an internet of webs, if you will. Data, hindsight, and studies on social behavior prove that more and more time is spent navigating digital technology to participate in everyday menial tasks. Studies include emotional distress among all age groups with elevated time on these devices, which yields to the expense of our health and physical communion. Yet to mention AI's algorithm manipulation, impersonation, and in some cases, intellectual property theft. How does the product solve the problem? Well, it offers a digital portal that unprecedentedly promotes in-person communion, as well as wellness and entertainment, due to aspects of Web3's double-edged relationship with the full problem. It does bring us all closer together, but sometimes it brings us more apart than ever. We got Linktree and Hubi that do address the problem, and digital business cards that physically show everybody our link when we tap it on their NFC chip. But this solution offers to remedy distracted behavior online by bracing future generations to mindfully drive the creator economy we see on the horizon. This is how we're going to make money. We got 1 minute. So as you can see, we're basing a lot of this off of creator and IP holders' market value based on their own market. So it's up to you as a sovereign individual or shareholder to see who pays you. And we'll act as a facilitator and communicating that accountability to the IRS or whichever entity needs to be known for you respectfully. Thank you for your courtesy.
Chris, thank you. Travis, is Travis here? He's walking in the door. Nothing like coming in cold. Travis, you're up, brother. You are. It's your turn. Yes. So yeah. All right. Should we go on and come back to? Excellent. There we go. All right. Look at this. You've got a whole room full of people that are supporting you. Ready to go. So does somebody give him a microphone, or should I give him the one in my hand? Or should I give him the one in my hand? Nez is coming with the other microphone. Look at that. Walks in the door. Less than a minute later, he's standing in front of the room, getting handed a microphone. It's like he's going to be running for governor next year. I guess in 4 years.
I'll just hold it.
Take it away.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Travis Baranow, and I'm working on this idea. It's still a work in progress. Still in the planning and design stages, still working out the numbers. So everything's kind of rough. So please bear with me. But it's to create equitable access to affordable housing for minorities, for low income minorities, veterans, disadvantaged first-time home buyers, and also renters. So there is an affordable housing crisis, as you may already know. According to the National Low Income Housing Coalition, they have these numbers on their website. So some statistics that they listed. There's a housing shortage. Nearly 7 million plus units are needed. There's a homelessness. About nearly 580,000 plus people experiencing homelessness on a given night. There's housing poverty, 70%. They're paying more than half their income on rent. And then 1 in 4, so underfunded programs, 1 in 4 are actually receiving the assistance. So these are statistics on their website, and it shows the current state in the US. Why is there a crisis? This has been going on for decades. Some other numbers, quotes from some other sources, home prices have doubled in the last decade. Much of the growth happening in the last 4 years. There's low inventory. So housing affordability has fallen to its lowest level since the 1980s. And of course, there's high interest rates and there's demand, right? Millennials having families, having children, big families need larger homes. So, and then there's more information just on home ownership. So first-time home ownership, according to Habitat for Humanity, they had Harvard University do a study, and the study found that the costs have skyrocketed in 2022. pricing out 2.4 million renters. They estimated that an annual income needed to afford a median home ownership home costs rose 20%. So from that study, some more information. Supply of homes for sale remains near record lows. So the supply, very low. So there's some good news. It's not all bad. It's not all doom and gloom. There are nonprofits, there are government entities helping to create solutions. So for example, HUD's new 85 million pro housing program. So will help offer more competitive grants. Also to help with down payment assistance. And then from that study, they found that housing cost burdens reached their highest levels in years. So that's someone that's paying more than 30% of their income on housing. And just further down, it says 40.6 million homeowners and renters were cost burdened in 2021. So HUD, Department of Housing and Urban Development, they're doing a lot. They have, one of the programs that they have is the SHOP program, Self-Help Homeownership Opportunity Program, which offers grants to nonprofits. But despite HUD doing a lot of assistance, according to GAO, the Government Accountability Office, there's still a lot that needs to be done. The cost to build homes has increased. The land of the prices of the land has increased. And HUD hasn't adjusted spending limits to compensate for that. So the number of units being built with grant funding has declined dramatically over time. And for renters, low income face shortages. During the last 3 years, rents increased about 24%. So that was from GAO. I do. So I do have a solution. It's coming here. So, so my business idea is to create a neighborhood of fourplexes. Each fourplex will be owned by a low-income minority, veteran, disadvantaged, or first-time home buyer. So they have to be low income and then one of those categories. So the idea is that one of the units will be owned, the other 3 units be rented out. So then that would help pay for the mortgage of the owner. The neighborhood will incorporate supportive services within a small community center, such as having a professional to provide mental health services. So that's the basic idea of the business. So market opportunity. So the low income, there's going to be a threshold. So I was thinking of having the qualifications be based on like the lower end of the middle class and below. So that's all low income. So that's 80% of the median income in Las Vegas, city of Las Vegas. So that's comes to about $55,000 and below. The target segment, like I said earlier, is low income, and that includes minorities, veterans, individuals with disabilities, seniors, homeless that are transitioning to stable housing, and first-time home buyers and renters. City of Las Vegas population back in 2020 was 641,903. And then some calculations came to about 168,261 for the target population. 30 seconds. Okay, so here are some pictures of some examples of existing properties. So they do exist. This was from the 80s, this one from the 90s, this one from the 2000s. So here's a community of fourplexes. And here, satellite images. So like I'd like to recreate this, but redesign the architecture so it creates a more inclusive community. So this area here that I highlighted in yellow is kind of the ideal that I'm looking for. There are some new concepts, something like this. This is probably too expensive, but there are some projects. This is supposedly being constructed last year. And then there's some that are already built. This is an example in St. George within a community. So some more information on market opportunity, but that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Awesome.
So it's still a work in progress, lots to work on. So thank you.
All right. Awesome. Great job. Great job. All right. So Erickson is up next. It's his machine. So he's there. And then just so you know, Evelyn and Ron are the next two up that we'll try to get to before the bottom of the hour, after which we'll take our break. Make sense?
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Mhm.
The lousy voice?
Yes, even somebody with a lousy voice. If
I'm
you can tell
curious
you're
already.
lousy.
I'm curious already.
If you can tell you're lousy, you have the ears to improve it, right? There are people who can't tell. They could listen to static and not know the difference. So my business model, I would like to help people sing easier and learn how to sing well. That guy over there looks like he has a lot of confidence as he's singing. Whether he's good or not is another question, right? It's a picture, you don't know. And then the other person, she's singing his karaoke. I'm sure people are like, no, go sing. It doesn't matter. It's okay if you're not good. But that's how people feel right there, right? People are worried that they will get pointed at and laughed at right there, right? You're feeling self-conscious. That's a problem. Some people aren't able to pursue this because they don't have the confidence. They don't think they can do it. And that's old school thinking that people have done and have instilled into you. If you can't do it, only some people are born to sing. And that's just not it. I was not a good singer when I started. Another issue is some people don't have the time. They're working, they have family, or there's money, right? If that's your teacher, if you're in school, she only has so much time to teach you, and she might want to help, but she has her own life, And then even if you can pay her money, she doesn't have the time. So my solution is a little bit more of a personalized video learning experience. There I am teaching one of my past students. These videos will help you just kind of discover your voice through a specific series of songs that are designed more for beginning singers. My business model. So targeting choir members, they're already singing. They're already learning how to sing. So obviously they have the interest, right? They might not have the time or the money. And they might still be embarrassed to sing. Maybe they're like one of those like in the choir, right? And the first 24 songs I would put on the series would be the 24 Italian songs and arias. It would be pay-per-view or even subscriptions, depending on if it's an institution such as choirs in middle school, high school, or even college. If they want access to this, they have it. And each video has just a little bit of time with me so I can guide you which series of videos should you go through so that you get the most bang for your buck. And if 1% of the USA students enrolled in middle school and high school choirs buy just $100 worth of product each year, that's $300 million a year. Competition is any music site or app. You know, how do we learn? We listen and we copy. Just naturally, we listen and copy, but how well does that work? For some great, for some not so great. So YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, if it's available there, you can listen to it and kind of learn your way through it. Hypothetically, if you want to listen to, say, Beyonce's new song, Daughter, you can go listen, copy it. You could also ask anybody with a music background because people like to be armchair experts. So even if I remember learning for myself singing, my cousin was in high school trying to teach me. She had no educational background. She just did her best to help me, right? With these videos, you have help of an expert. And here in this picture, all of us could help you with the songs, but only 3 of us went on to go teach music. But I was the one who continued to teach people as solo artists. Traction. So in 2023, 2024, CCSD choirs had a total of 10,075 students over 65 schools. The school district is the 5th largest in the nation. If we are to suppose that this is a good sample size, that would be 6% of all enrolled students. And if we take 6% of the nation, that's 3 million students. That's a lot of people already wanting to sing. What? So also some more traction, specifically the song Caro Mio Ben. There's over 300 videos of people singing it. There's over 300 videos and just like, you know, people singing it, different keys, men, women, different styles, their own things with that, even karaoke tracks that's available just on YouTube, right? But what's really cool, I think, is Beyonce actually sampled it in her recent song, Daughter. And I remember in high school, she also sang a French aria when I was in high school. And I thought that was really cool and it gave her more credibility. My teacher loved her even more for it and totally endorsed her as a singer and performer. So team, right now it's just me. I have over 25 years experience in singing and over 15 years teaching. Here's me asking for money. So with my calculations, I would say if things go well, about $115,000 for a videographer. The other numbers I am still researching. For marketing, it could be less because I do know a lot of the music teachers in town. I have made connections through college and performing around the country, various things and networking. So it might be less, it might be more if we're targeting the middle school and high school. And I need help with the things I don't know. Site creation, maintenance. Sorry, went too far. And you know, how can I keep people from stealing this and just giving it to everybody for free? So don't know exactly the total number I would ask, but that's what I have there. And a little bit more about me, 24601. If you know Les Mis, that's one of the songs. Who am I? Yes, great. And you can read the rest. What's important, if I'm going to teach you how to sing, is can you sing? So you can just read that. That's a little bit of my singing. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And just various pictures of me performing. I also sing in my falsetto. So friends in college asked me to sing Habanera from Carmen. So that's the bottom right picture. And then just played various different roles. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. Again, my name is Erickson Franco. I sing as a tenor. You can reach me at ericksonfranco.com. Email is info@ericksonfranco.com. And there's my phone number, text preferred. And if you want more ways to pay me, you can also scan that code there and I will accept any form of payments. Thank you all. And with that, I declare this presentation adjourned.
All right.
Nurturing growth
Awesome.
and achievement.
Awesome. And I am curious because, you know, when you're a jet all the way. Anybody else in West Side Story in high school? Yeah. Okay. So thanks. Awesome presentation and singing too. That is great. So is Evelyn here with us. There she is. Yeah, it's hard. That is hard. I don't know how you follow it, but you're going to have to try. Yes.
I can tell you fast. And then what do we plug into?
You can bring your laptop and just, you have to.
Oh,
Yes.
no. Do that real quick.
One moment. we're gonna-
Okay, she's going to get signed in. And is Ron with us in the room? Ron Peters? Okay, well, if Ron shows up before the end of Evelyn's thing, then we'll go on to him.
I see
Is it-
Ron on Zoom.
Okay, so
Ron,
Ron
are
must
you-
be presenting via Zoom. So
Yep.
excellent. So after Evelyn is done, if we have time before 1:30, we probably won't. So we'll probably go to break after Evelyn.
I emailed.
And then when we come back from break at, this can't be right. Sure, if Ron, if you are ready and online and you can share, we can move right ahead with you.
He says he is not ready.
He's not ready.
His slot isn't until later today. I think we have just sped through the lineup today.
Right, so we'll do Evelyn and then we'll go for our break and we'll come back at a 10 past 2 or so. And then Ron, hopefully by then you will be ready to go. Oh, he's in an Uber. Well, hopefully you'll get where you're going in the next 40 minutes or so,
Okay.
so we can get going again. Is Luis in the room? Luis Cervantes? Or is he online? Just scanning the rest of the list here.
Sorry.
The next
Okay.
after Luis is Ronald Ingram. Ronald in the room. There are Ronalds in the back. Ronald, if asked, will you be able to go earlier than your scheduled time? Okay.
I do not.
Ronald can go anytime. So I'm gonna put a little star by Ronald's name.
So many choices.
How about Hafed?
Not gonna jump in.
Hafed online or in the room?
Oh, okay.
I don't see anybody in the room raising their hand. Cara,
Luis
anybody
says he's not
online?
ready. Luis says he's not ready.
We're almost ready. It's like 30 seconds.
But Luis is with us. He's just not ready right now. Is Hafed online or with us? He's not in there. Or Hafed is not in the room.
Not online either.
Okay. Leah? Leah's in the room. Okay. And then that will wrap us up.
All right, I'm ready.
So Evelyn still is getting her, she's up, there we go. He's coming to the front. Can't wait to be curious.
Got me up an hour early. Late.
Yes.
So when you go to your
Things, most of the times things run late. Although I've learned from our previous cohorts that people sign up for times and then life happens and they don't show up. So everybody should be ready to go earlier. We will not be calling anybody up from tomorrow's class to today, though.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Evelyn Thompson Hilbert. I am with, thank you, you can clap. Not as exciting as the topic as singing, but very useful. So I'm with Mindful Alliances, which is Mindful Trauma-Informed Workforce Consulting Services. It's a mouthful, don't worry about it. I work with nonprofits, educational institutions, and government and public policy. So this is me. I healed from childhood trauma with mindful and spiritual practices, and I earned a PhD to help empower others struggling to live as well. And so that's the story that we're going to work with today. I don't know if you know, but my problem, or if you guys know, 223 million American adults will suffer from at least one trauma in their lifetime. This has been exacerbated and exposed through the pandemic. And I am translating my years of working on a doctorate into the business model that's to follow. So my approach, at least in the academic world, is innovative. It's cross-professional. I have over 25 years of teaching and facilitating mindfulness and meditation. I've roamed the world, I've traveled Machu Picchu and sat on the Great Pyramids. That is the background that I bring to integrate these areas. Trauma-informed practices is the other area, and then workforce development, because I worked in it in the last 15 years. And I saw firsthand how people that are struggling to try to get employment struggle. By that, I mean, the pilot project that I'm about to tell you about, people that are employed, in my sample, over 50% were experiencing trauma that we're trying to help others. Vicarious trauma is the means, or when you have trauma from helping other people or the ongoing exposure. Most of our public systems in the health and public services are dealing with this issue. Not only that, in the private sector alone, as of 2019, over $400 billion per year is being lost due to various kinds of trauma. So I have a strategic partnership. It's a 4-phase pilot program that I implemented with Goodwill of Southern Nevada. For those of you that don't know, Goodwill Industries is in all 50 states domestically, but 12 countries outside. And so I've been able to forge that partnership, and that is what I am launching with. The 4-phase pilot consists of one-on-one coaching in the first phase, which I conducted again to establish some data in Nevada. The second phase was a focus group. That's where I did a lot of assessing for childhood trauma onto professional trauma, people that are experiencing it. The third phase is I've developed curriculum that will be proprietary, and I plan to license that, so there's IP concerns with that. One is a mindfulness module that is required to do my work and trainings for Train the Trainer. And the trainer part is based on all the feedback from employees. That is also a means of sustaining cultural change within the organizations and corporations. The focus service, again, they consist of mindfulness, assessments, training, and consulting. So mindfulness and mindful trauma-informed training curriculum. Why the mindfulness piece? Because if it's just another training, we risk adding to that already staggering number of re-traumatizing people in the workplace and just trying to get a job. Trauma-informed assessments, there are some that I've developed and some that are industry standards. Guess by now the theme, mindful trauma-informed, train the trainer, and then the consultant are in-person services. My market segment, very raw data, I will say. So the segments that I do work with are nonprofit organizations, educational institutions, government organizations, and of course, I've already said Goodwill Industries. What I do not have on here is another specialty area that I discovered during this incubator, which would change all of these numbers and of course the projections. That'll be done later. At the moment, the TAM is 2.9 trillion, that's global. The SAM is 25 billion, and the SOM is 250 million to 1.25 billion. That's all only focused on workforce development programs. Educational institutions, 6 trillion globally, 1 billion the SAM, and 1 billion to 5 billion in the US, universities, colleges, et cetera. Government organizations, agencies, et cetera, 500 billion TAM, 10 billion SAM, 100 million to, you guys can read these, 500 million SOM. Again, all were focused on workforce development, not necessarily with mindfulness and trauma integrated. And then Goodwill Industries is a 4 billion globally, 1 billion SAM, and then the SOM is 10 to 50 million. So the competition, I did this in a, this is actually in the wrong place, but the competition I did in a pie chart just so that you guys could see. Majority of the competition is in traditional training providers, those that are specialized in trauma-informed consultants and educational institutions, then divided almost evenly between nonprofits, online training platforms, pardon me. So I've already kind of told you guys, integrated all together, the TAM of the total market, 9 trillion, 136 billion is the SOM, and then SAM, and then the SOM is 100 million, just for an idea. The revenue model, selling licenses. That would access the comprehensive curricula, training packages or train-to-trainer videos and virtual courses. There are assessments, which I already spoke of. They're in-depth research and assessments. And then of course, in-person consulting. So the total ask, 896,000. I have this broken down here by the staffing costs, which includes the CEO, 2 trainers, and then some other like administrative staff. Legal fees, of course, I already mentioned the licensing, so I would need help with intellectual property, office space potentially, but not necessary. Technological development, I'll get to that in a second because there's future growth that I'm looking at, which includes video production, licensing fees, and marketing. The way that looks broken down percentage-wise, of course, the majority is the staffing costs. Next is the technological development, and don't mind that being there. So I see that I'm missing a slide. I apologize. What I did have on there, and I will say this, is to me, this is a lifelong passion. I have been able to overcome a lot of trauma in my life, and there are a lot of means to do this. What I didn't see, and I'm missing in my deck here, is the gaming technology is, as I embrace and look forward to what's going on with AI and technology, I plan to invest a lot in that to have creative ways to help people access it. Because a lot of the adult population that I worked with can't even necessarily read or speak English. And we have to address this if we want a viable workforce in Nevada and in the rest of this country. Thank you, I'm Evelyn, and there's my info.
Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you for being brave enough to just jump right up here, well ahead of your scheduled time. So thanks so much for that. Surprise! Welcome to being an entrepreneur. Things don't always go the way that they're planned. So we are at the bottom of the hour. We're scheduled for a quick little lunch break here in the room. Oh, wow. So if you were with us, you would be looking out at this bountiful layout here of various foods. So we're going to take our break here in the room now for the next, Maggie, I'm looking at you, 30. Okay, so we will be back online at 2:05 to 2:10. And then next up is Ron Peters, then Luis. Ronald's here in the room and ready to go. So that's later, Ronald? No, that's Ron Peters. Yeah, but he should be there. Right, so he'll be here by like, yeah, he'll be here by 10 after. So we'll get going again at about 10 after 2 with Ron and Luis. And if either one of those guys aren't available, then we'll just jump into Ronald Ingram, who's here in the room. And hopefully we'll be on the lookout for Hafed and Leah to jump in there as well. So for those of you in the room, please help yourself to some sandwiches. We are going to pause the video.
We just pin that guy. There you go. And then how can we just get
Well, we can give it to Ron. He's up next.
yeah.
Ron's up next.
He is, and he is ready.
Ready to go. All right. Okay, we're back. So, pin? Sounds painful. Okay, so we're back and we're gonna get started here in just a second. And today's a big lesson in things don't always go on the schedule that you think they're going to. Sometimes your presentation doesn't work right. Not trying to jinx you here, Ron, but sometimes your presentation doesn't work right. So as founders, these are all things that we just roll with. So I know that Kara, well, we're trying to find Luis and Hafed and Leah because we have the 2 Rons here in the room and they're both ready to go. So in just a second, we're going to have Ron Peters up telling us about his company. And I got to say, thanks so much, everybody. Every single presenter has made me curious, which is really the goal for today, is to make somebody want to know more. Now, just because I happen to favor the singing thing, that doesn't mean anything. That's a personal preference. But everybody's done a great job. So thanks so much for everybody coming in, participating, putting your heart out there in front of me and everybody here in the room and everybody online. So thanks for doing that. And Car can hear. Everybody's good. That's good. Okay, so we're gonna hear from Ron Peters first, and then Ronald Ingram. And then hopefully by the time Mr. Ingram has finished, we will either have heard from Luis Cervantes, Hafed Iklef, or Leah Villanueva, and they'll be able to. Leah's here? Oh, okay. Okay. So great. So then we'll hear from Ron, and Leah, and then hopefully before they're done, we will have reached Luis and Hafed. So does that mean we've reached them?
No.
Okay. Okay. All right. So no, I'm dancing as much as I can, but I don't think I'm going to be able to dance that much more. So Ron, please, everybody, let's welcome Ron Peters. Come on up, Ron. There's one right there next to the computer. Yours. So to the left of the computer. Does this work?
No, it
Oh,
doesn't.
okay.
That one's acting funny. Okay, you're on. I pin it right there, so it's in there. That happens. Okay.
Well, these things are very delicate. They fall apart easily. Here's one.
Okay. We got it. We got it. Would you mind?
Two.
There you go.
Now it falls apart very easily. Ron, take it away.
All right.
AI assisted secure team collaboration. Awesome.
Hi.
A mouthful, but it's awesome.
So my name is Ron Peters. I'm the founder and CEO of Daylight Vision. So we're seeking $500,000 in angel funding to launch the next generation AI-assisted secure team collaboration software for businesses. It's all based on a revolutionary new international standard called messaging layer security. And we integrate cooperative AI both on device and in the cloud to increase productivity and data security. And it's a very large market and growing. Email is still the prevalent method of communication for businesses. 2/3 of business communication is still email. Email is horribly insecure. 90% of data breaches are caused by somebody clicking on a link in an email or some kind of email interaction. And 83% of organizations have leaked sensitive information through email, like social security numbers, driver's license numbers, all kinds of personally identifying information. Essentially, email in business has to go away. The problem is it's really easy to use. Well, we're going to solve that problem by having a secure messaging platform that is as easy to use as email. It's called Cypher. It's an AI-assisted secure team collaboration software. This new international standard called messaging layer security provides the gold standard in messaging security. It's called end-to-end encryption. I'll explain that a little bit later. But the previous systems that used end-to-end encryption required some kind of setup, some kind of connectors, all kinds of things that made it hard to actually communicate, especially with people outside of your organization. MLS solves that. For the management side of things, we're providing a Copilot-based dashboard system so that managers can query the system to make sure things are compliant, make sure things are secure, and also, in case you need it, legal discovery, which is also another big issue with a lot of the previous secure systems. You didn't have a way to ensure compliance or ensure legal discovery was done. In fact, Wall Street firms, just in the last 2.5 years, were fined $2.5 billion because their employees were using WhatsApp and there was no way to find out what these people were saying. So they got fined $2.5 billion just because of that. AI-assisted compliance and what's called data leak prevention. Data leaks are things like the social security numbers, things like that. The system is constantly watching your back, making sure that you're not inadvertently leaking information that's either proprietary or should be kept secret. Now, we have a ton of features, but I want to focus on this end-to-end encryption for a minute. The reason this is important is, let's take email. Email is about as secure as a carrier pigeon. It's in what we call encrypted on the wire, but every time it makes a stop, it's no longer encrypted. So it is not encrypted on your computer. It's encrypted over the internet to the first server. And then that server decrypts it and has access to your entire message. That's how spam filtering works. It couldn't filter out spam. It couldn't detect if this was spam if it couldn't read the message. So, but it's not just one email server that your email goes through. If you look at the headers, you'll see 10, 15, 20 email servers between the sender and you. And every single one of those servers has complete access to the content of your message. Now, there's systems like PGP to encrypt the messages, but that has its own problems, and it's really an outdated protocol for that. End-to-end encryption is the gold standard for encryption. Only the sender and the receiver can decrypt that message. And every stop that it makes along the way, the intermediate servers cannot decrypt that message. It is the gold standard in security. We also have project management tools, which is actually where people are trying to use these systems the most. They're not just chatting with each other at work, they're actually trying to get things done. So it's really important to integrate project management tools along with the messaging. This is a once in a decade revolution in standards. This is just as important as the introduction of email, introduction of voice over IP, introduction of streaming. This messaging layer security will replace email for the vast majority of business communications. It was just standardized last year, and the time is now to jump on it. I'm going to skip the demo. Collaboration tools is a huge market. There's a very big growth in the project management space. We believe we can capture $116 million worth of revenue in the first 5 years because it is a huge, huge market and is still growing. There's lots of activity in the space, but there's a reason no one has end-to-end encryption in their lineup. Messaging layer security not just provides end-to-end encryption, but it also does it for large groups. That is another big innovation on this. Usually end-to-end security is between just a few people. 1, 2, 3. Your entire company of 50,000 people could be on a completely encrypted messaging platform, all communicating with each other, and it's very efficient. That's the innovation in this. We have a classic B2B SaaS revenue model, about $20 per seat. It goes up, goes down, depending on the features that you want. We figure the average company that's interested in this will have about 120 seats per company. And that means the lifetime value, expected lifetime value of each one of these customers is about $110,000. My co-founder and I have been working off and on together for 20 years. He is an expert in branding and communication. I'm a protocol level engineer, been doing this for 30 plus years. We'll just leave it at that. And our go-to-market, we're going to focus on regulated industries, companies operating in regulated industries, so healthcare, finance, legal, government. And we're also going to attend and sponsor the cybersecurity conferences where people who care about this stuff come together and really get our name out there. Once again, we're raising a $500,000 safe note, angel investment to achieve these KPIs by May 2025. About 2,100 paid seats will get us $400,000 of ARR. And we anticipate, so we do have a free trial, it's a freemium type thing. So we do anticipate 2% trial to paid conversion, and we want to get our security SOC 2 certification. So thank you very much.
But Ron, how will the Nigerian prince get to us?
Hopefully it never will unless he is actually your relative.
Yes. I don't know. He has a check. He needs it cashed. It's for a giant purchase order. How else are we going to get that opportunity?
Exactly.
So thanks. I'm fascinated by that.
All right.
I
Thank you.
really am. I think I have the disease of too many emails, like many of us do. All right. So do you want Luis to jump? Why don't we let Luis settle in?
He's gonna plug into the laptop.
Okay.
Let's set him up while Ron.
Yeah, let Ron come on up. Yep, this is the fun when the order gets changed. So come on up. And so we're gonna go with Ron Ingram at the moment. And then Luis, you're up next. So we'll get you set up. And then we'll be looking for Hafed and Leah. Oh, Leah's here. So Leah can be ready to go after Luis. And hopefully by the time that's done, we'll have found Hafed. Oh, there he is. All right. I don't know. Every time I say it, maybe I'm mispronouncing. Am I mispronouncing your name? Okay. All right.
How
So
do I get this
we're
on?
lined up.
How do I get this?
It's like,
Okay. Okay.
so it's like,
Sign in the Zoom.
like we're at the airport. All the planes are in the pattern. Now it's just a question of guiding them into landing. So, okay. So Luis, I know, is getting connected to the Zoom. I'm gonna suggest that Hafed and Leah, if they're not putting their presentations on the laptop, that you guys
You?
connect to the Zoom.
Post the links that we can get into the Zoom.
There we go. So, my name is Ronald Ingram. Ronald Ingram for a little bit of differentiation there. I'm not Ron, I'm Ronald Ingram. AKA my nickname, Chiron, also the name of my company. So Chiron Biotech, we're about biohacking, health, wealth, and AI, basically. Health, wealth, and AI. I am a serial entrepreneur, digital artist, innovator, creator, author, polymath, some would say. Here's what my lawyer told me to put up. This is not a solicitation to invest. This is a demonstration and a bit of a business plan only. So now we'll get into it. The the addressable market for my business is quite large and easy to define. It's been done by scientists for me. It is the protocol that I've developed is something that will extend life, and I'll get into how and why. But it is a methodology to extend human biological lifespan by 1 year. Dr. David Sinclair from Harvard and his collaborators, they wrote an article, it was published in Nature, they have white papers out. The estimated market of what people, WTP stands for willingness to pay. So what people are willing to pay in America to extend their life 1 year, and this would not just be individuals, this would be across the whole gamut, communities, etc., have governments have an interest in reducing healthcare costs. All of that together represents a $37.6 trillion market. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. Obviously, there's a very, very big market, right? Death and taxes. Do we need to talk about a problem? We're talking about a solution to death, all right? But I'm not going to go that far. Don't worry. So, but we do have a moonshot here, and a few years ago, people would think that the idea of radical life extension was ludicrous, but I'm just at the right time, hitting them. A lot of times I've been too early. We're just at the right time. This is going mainstream. Some of you might have heard of SpaceX. Maybe you don't know that they got their start from a prize put forward by the X Prize Foundation for accelerating space travel, essentially. And so they did an X Prize to promote and to get to encourage entrepreneurs to shoot for the moon, literally. So a moonshot. And so that's how SpaceX got its start. Now, just this year, the same foundation has launched a health span X Prize, $101 million up for grabs up to one winner, and there's other prizes, $101 million to extend human lifespan 10 years in 1 year. So we have 1 year following a protocol, a therapeutic protocol to extend life by 10 years. That's the baseline. They want to shoot further than that. I've already attained that. I've already attained that. And I'll tell you why I'm wearing all this gear in a second too. It's part of it. So my protocol, the Ingram X Prize protocol, it's available now. I'm the first, kind of like Tim Ferriss. I did the biohacking on myself first. And so I've been, I studied under some very, very legendary scientists and doctors and biologists going back for 20, 30 years now, where it was, my focus was on performance, but everything that I was doing was natural and also extends lifespan. So the Ingram X Prize protocol, it consists of 283 different ingredients, which could be narrowed down into different products. It also covers gear. So like, for example, this hat that I'm wearing, it is literally a tinfoil hat. No, silver is the one step up from tinfoil. It protects against 99% of the EMF radiation in this room. My hoodie, same stuff. So I'm completely shielded from all of these electronic devices that are around me. And these glasses are popularized by biohackers and gamers initially. Protect the eyes, protect the brain from different forms of radiation. So also products. So, and what I don't make all these products, I provide a curated list of all the best of the best that's out there, because it's always changing. This product was designed by DARPA, or not designed, but it's funded by DARPA. I hope to get similar funding for some of my products. But this is these are exogenous ketones. They make your mitochondria work 20% more effectively. Divers use Navy SEALs use them to be able to swim for 20% further underwater, holding their breath. Really interesting stuff. So who am I comparing myself to? There are three really sort of very direct competitors, and I'll talk about how my protocol stacks up to theirs. David Asprey, he is a computer hacker, no background in biology or medicine or science other than technology. He's famous for bulletproof coffee. Anybody heard of that? Yeah. So he popularized, which has cognitive enhancement capabilities and a few other products, but mainly it was his protocol and his books. Starting out where I'm starting out. He's from where I'm from as well, Vancouver, British Columbia area originally. The next guy, Brian Johnson, his background is even closer to mine. He's a fintech entrepreneur, multi-billionaire, who sold everything to focus on biohacking. He claims to have the world record for biological age reduction. He reduced his biological age 8 years in a year. I've done 10. So I've got him beat apparently. So so that's it. That's kind of cool. The final guy, Gary Brecka, he's quite well known. And all these guys. So this gets to my SOM, the market that I can obtain. These guys have all done it through social media. I'll do it through that. Plus, I have 4.2 million customers from other companies that I've launched that I can access. So a little bit of an advantage there. My program, so very quickly, holistic. It's holistic. But it's non-pharma. So there's no prescription drugs involved. All the other guys have that. All the other guys have work done. My dietary protocol is complete. I have a physical fitness regimen. 1 minute left. So I've got a physical fitness regimen that includes Tibetan yoga, five simple. It's an ancient. So my whole protocol really is a mixture between East and West. So without going through all the all the comparisons, that's something you can lock onto, East and West. So Western science meets all the Eastern practices studied with Kung Fu masters, Qigong masters, etc. So I have a book out already. It's on the wealth side. So remember, I said health, wealth, and AI, but this is mostly focused on health. And I have, none of these guys have a mobile app or an AI. I will be having, I'll probably skip the app and go straight to the AI. The sources of revenue, I have a special token, kind of like a meme coin. I won't go into that whole area, but I'm an expert in cryptography and crypto coins and that whole area. So participants in my projects get DCTs, what I call DCTs, huge upside royalties. We get 2.5% in royalties, publications, my book. I've got a book published already. Subscriptions, this is where a lot of the other guys get their revenue, and professional fees for my services. Already have some revenue from that. And the revenue, so year 5, $33 million in profits. The first year we'll take a small loss of $800,000, hence my raise. And so what I'm asking, I will match. So I'm asking for 500K. I'll match it 500. 3-year term, 12% APR, and a 10x balloon at the end of that, and that's it. So it's a convertible note. My expenses are primarily legal, marketing, and general administration. So time is up. So that is. I didn't introduce myself, and I was one slide away from the finish. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you,
Thank you.
Ronald. So thanks for doing that. So Luis Cervantes is up next. Can't wait to hear what Luis has to say to us. Luis, take it away. All right.
Oh, okay. I got you. How are you guys doing today? My name's thank you. My name is Luis Cervantes. I'm the proud owner of Mushroom Head here in Nevada. Oops, that's not where we start at though. How do we go back? Oh, there we go. Sorry. There we go. Mushroom Head. I'm the proud owner of Mushroom Head. We've established here in Nevada since March of 2024 of this year. We're family owned and minority owned as well. I am Hispanic. Cultivating success one sport at a time. That's our slogan. That's what we stick by. What that means to me is starting something from the ground up and cultivating it to something successful, something beautiful, something that's worth putting your money into and making way for the future. Problems in the market. Convenience of just ask yourself, how long did you wait today in your line for your coffee? The convenience is definitely not there anymore. It takes a little longer to get a cup of Joe through the drive-through. You spend about 15 minutes to get your Starbucks. Sourcings and quality of the coffee definitely have gone down within the years. You're getting a type of bean in the market in the US that's called a pisado, which is the bottom of the barrel. It's not good for you. It definitely contains a lot of contaminants that definitely don't want to keep drinking on a daily basis. Taste and consumer acceptance, again, with the taste being okay, the feeling's not there, the quality's not there, and a lot of people accept hype and things of that nature. They want more of a good, they want a good taste instead of a high quality bean. That's what they're seeking now, a better price, things of that nature. And what problems with the packaging is that a lot of coffees out there are using non-biodegradable bags. You're throwing, everybody in here probably drinks coffee. Everybody in here throws their bags in the same trash I do. So we all know where that's going. Solutions on our end, we use an Arabica coffee sourced out of South America or Latin America, whichever one we choose to source from. We use a premium dark roast, which is really low on the caffeine content. So it's gonna help you with a lot of the jitters and a lot of the headaches that you get from the normal coffee. We are an instant coffee, which you can add straight to your water right now that's on your table. You can add it to hot or cold. It mixes in instantly. It's water soluble. So with the mushrooms inside that we use as a fruit and body extract, which is a lot better than what a lot of other coffees are using. They're using mycelium-based products, which is the dirt, the bottom of the barrel, not what everybody else is using. Not us though. We also add minerals to it, which the minerals are high in, they're just really good for you. It's something that we lack on our daily consumptions when we try to take vegetables, we try to eat great fruits, and the minerals that are lacking in there are definitely, we need that. We need minerals in our daily consumption, and that's what we add to our coffee is a large dose of minerals, which is not only going to keep you hydrated, but it's going to allow, it's going to enter the bloodstream 100 times faster than anything out there, so you're going to feel it instantly. And we also are using a biodegradable bag. So with that being said, the zipper, the ink, the packaging, everything can be thrown in your garden and within 3 months it's gone. I don't know if you know, but the coffee market is a $461 billion market. Mushroom coffee is 2.6 billion. It's still in the billions. It's really high. Mushroom head, we're trying to be in the 1.8. We're trying to get 1,000 bags sold about a month or a week, I'm sorry, with 52,000 bags sold annually. I think that's achievable with the process of marketing, with the process of getting influencers involved, and yeah, different distribution places, Amazon, you know, drop shipping, things of that nature. We want to hold 12,000 bags in inventory and be able to sell, get our price down if we can increase the inventory units. And then marketing, well, we would spend $120,000 on marketing, which would be influencers again, anything with that, commercials, mostly social media, because I think that's the more effective thing right now in the market. And then distribution, again, Amazon will hit a lot of main places, distribution places. And then just for operations and employees, we asked for $40,000 to have somebody help out in what I can do, which would have been this deck. I spent a lot of time on the deck, and if we had operations to help out with a little bit of what I can do, it would definitely be greatly appreciated. So $292,000 is what we ask. My name is Luis Cervantes. I come from California, Paramount, California. I went to school out here at Centennial High School. I graduated in 2004. I come from a sales background. That's what I do. I can sell ice to an Eskimo. I was top salesman in Breakthrough Beverage. Sold over $500,000 a month in liquor sales. So, I mean, I can sell pretty much anything. I have a wife named Tori, 2 daughters, Jocelyn and Cassidy. My mission for my product, for my coffee, is to have a healthier way to drink your coffee, a healthier way to feel, where everybody is trying to seek that right now. So I think it's a great time to jump into something of that nature. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Luis. Fascinating. But you didn't call out Kali,
Who was that?
the dog. The dog was on the slide,
I'm
but she didn't say the name.
sorry. I'm sorry.
You are going to be in trouble when you go home, brother. The dog is going to be like looking at you, like, how come I didn't get a call?
Like, you didn't say anything,
So-
Dad. Thank you.
Way to go.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Can I just pull the? I can
Yeah.
just pull it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so Hafed is up next, and Leah, you're batting cleanup for us today. And then, do we really have ice cream?
Yes.
Awesome. So Leah, you're the one standing between everybody and ice cream. So one drone for all your applications. Hafed, tell us about it. Take it away. Everybody welcome Hafed.
1A Drone is manufacturing drones here in California. We're designing, prototyping, and testing at the moment. And the idea is to have one drone platform able to tackle multiple applications. The problem we're trying to fix is basically a flying drone. A drone is a flying camera, and they're limited by their batteries, so they can fly and handle missions that are 20 to 40 minutes. The other issue is customization. Basically, just like with transforming mobile phone into a smartphone, we're trying to increase the capability of the device and create something completely new. U.S. manufacturing and data control, data integrity. It's basically a hot topic right now because in Washington they're discussing the banning DJI from selling not only to defense and government, but also to the public. And in order to solve that problem, the main point is to have battery swapping stations. And basically, your drone drops in, you get a new battery, and in less than 2 minutes, the drone is back and continuing the mission. You can have different stations. They're ID'd, so the drone can know exactly which one it needs to go to and replace the battery. So you can extend the duration and the distance. There's also different ways of handling the optimizing the efficiency of the drone. We'll talk about that in a product. The payload customization is an important aspect because basically third party are allowed now to invent new application for drones and sell it on our platform. Just like an app store, you can basically design a solution for an application that was not even thinking about using drones in the past. US manufacturing and supply chain is an ongoing issue, and basically bringing manufacturing to the US is common nowadays. So the product itself, this is just an illustration, but you can see that the battery is basically a block that you can remove from the drone if it's designed for that purpose and automatically being swapped with a new one. The stations will be positioned along the path of your application, and you can have as many stations as you need. I was talking about improving the efficiency of the drone. So a drone, basically quadcopter or in this case octocopter, they're not like helicopters. They can use the pitch on the propeller. In this case, we're rotating the main arm and then the propeller arm as well. So we're allowing, through the use and machine learning and AI, we're allowing the drone to position itself to, depending on the weather, to be as efficient as possible, whether carry a bigger load or extend the life of the battery. The payload, as you can see on the bottom, it's a quick release payload bay that has a main connector that has access to all the sensors on the drone plus the battery as well. So the market opportunity right now, the commercial drone market is a fast growing one, and it's at the total addressable market is at $2.8 billion. And as you can see, the sum is down to 110 million. There's obviously different factors, the type of drones and the production here in the US and the US market. There's also the limitation about whether we can or not fully automate the production line. So that kind of limit the sum. Competitors, DJI is by far the biggest player. It's banned from defense contract here in the US. Europe is talking about it, and it might be completely banned for even commercial use. But that's uncertain, so we're not going to talk about it. But the main player remains Chinese manufacturer. The notable US manufacturer are Skydio and FreeFly. They even been cleared by the Defense Department to work with the different defense branches. I mentioned Brink here because they were built here in Las Vegas. They started here in Las Vegas. After the shooting here, they developed a drone that is used by the police and security application, and they moved to Seattle. All right, so as you can see on the team, it's just me, myself, and I for now, and apparently I have only one shirt. But I'm actively looking for a co-founder. The main issues there I need help with is sales, marketing, and finance. I have 20 years of mechanical engineering experience, and I wrote a book about machine learning. So there's a link there for if you want to buy it on Amazon. The ask is $750,000. Yes, manufacturing is expensive. Engineering is expensive. The idea with this ask is to get us to the MVP, minimum viable product, and that's going to be past all the testing with the prototype. The other important aspect of this is to get a pilot line that can define the processes and the manufacturability of the product. in order to get there, 80% of the ask will go to salaries. There's 3 engineers involved. There's sales and an operator. Yep. And that's it. Okay.
Fed, thank you very much. Fascinating stuff. Fascinating stuff. Okay. And I teach a class that's full of engineers that are also looking for co-founders that have a little bit more of a business spin to them. So if you're looking for engineers, I might be able to hook you up with some, although they won't be as experienced as you are. All right. So Leah. Okay. Well, then I'm going to carry on with starting to wrap us up. And if we do see Leah online before we're done, we will bring her on. Then okay, so that's our set of pitches for today, our presentations for today. Unless we hear from Leah in the next couple of minutes. But you know what's next? No, we had 2 breaks planned, and this break that's coming up now, we have ice cream apparently, which I think is awesome. So I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. All right. So I'm not sure where the ice cream is. It looks like it's being put on the table. Those are the cookies. We have cookies too. All right. So Ronald, I'm sorry we're eating all the stuff we shouldn't be eating. Or at least we're serving all the stuff that we shouldn't be eating. But so if Leah comes in, we will reassemble and listen. Or we'll listen if Leah comes. So I want to say again to everybody who's here today, just in case we don't make it until the originally end of schedule day. Thank you so much for coming out. It does, and I said at the beginning, it takes courage to do this, not only to have the idea, to put it out there in front of everybody. Everybody put a lot of work into their presentations to make them digestible by people who are hopefully as curious about them as I am now. So thank you so much for all the heart and soul, courage, and diligence you put into your presentation. I'm totally impressed. And I really look forward to seeing what happens next with this group and where you go from here, whether you appear in front of on our pitch days or whether you go out to one of the other groups. I'm just thrilled that you're here today. And thanks so much again for coming out. And now it's time for ice cream. So, okay, so we're talking, so hang on here in a minute. Zoom people,
No ice
you
cream.
should have been here because then you would have had ice cream. Okay. So Zoom people.
Yeah, we're going to keep the Zoom open because Leah wasn't scheduled until 3:41. So if she comes around 3:15, 3:30, we will definitely record her, but you guys can check back to the Zoom if you're interested at 3:41. She'll be our last presenter for the day. Okay, so we're going to pause recording, but keep the Zoom open.
We'll call you up to get your certificates.
You should give us funding instead. I'll take that.
All right. So, Luis, is Luis still here or did he take off? Luis, come on up. You've got a certificate here. Yay, Luis. Thanks for bringing it up. Luis, all right. Certificate from Jackie Rosen, Senator Jackie Rosen. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
Hafed.
Oh, well.
I'm just going off the pile here. Hafed.
Is it because I voted for her?
Maybe. I think it's because you finished. So Hafed, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, good for Hafed. All right, next up is Ronald. Ronald Ingram, come on up and grab your certificate. There you go, sir.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. Awesome. Okay, Danielle. Is Danielle still here? No, Danielle? We'll have to get Danielle's certificate to her. Fernando.
Yes.
There you are, sir. Fernando. Here's your certificate. Congratulations. Okay, and don't leave because there was one more picture. Travis. Sometimes the writing is so fancy, I can hardly read it. Thanks. Erickson. Thanks so much. Evelyn. It's not quite a PhD, but it is a certificate from Senator Jackie Riss. Yeah, congratulations. Thanks so much. Ron. Ron, congrats. Thanks. And last but not least, well, Leah hasn't come yet, so we have Leah's waiting for her when and if she shows up. Did we miss anybody? Excellent. All right, now. Oh wait. Everybody who get your certificates, come on up. It is. Yes. Maggie, you should be the one taking the picture with them, not me. You shepherded this group. I just MC the last day. So.
I'll expose my eyes to some UV. Uh-oh. We started with lots of women.
All right, no more false starts. Let's get out of here and grab some ice cream.
Can we add the
and cookies?
Can we put the asking slide here?
The little clip. All right, we're gonna.
Yes.
I'm so glad that Leah got here.
Oh my goodness.
When she did.
Oh yeah. Is that on? Can you hear us, Farah?
We should be able to see it going bang, bang, bang on the.
Yep.
Excellent.
I
Yep,
can
that's
hear
what
you and
happened.
I can see the deck. Yep.
Very sensitive.
Or you can just say it's cheap.
Can I just hold it? All right.
It's not well made. Okay, they're very effective microphones. The clip thing does not work though.
Let's hold this. I feel more
Yes.
comfortable this
All
way.
right. So
All right.
we are, please, everybody, let's welcome Leah to the stage.
All right.
Take it away, Leah.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Leah Villanueva Beret, and I am the founder of Rise and Shine. However, despite my parents naming me Leah, I am never called Leah. My mother still refers to me as Bonjing or Bonj, which means twinkling, happy, chubby baby. Yeah. And my father always called me Anak. And Anak in Tagalog means child. As we all know, language is more than just words. There's a connection to people, life, experiences, a really rich connection that you can't really put a price on. And for this reason, through Rise and Shine, I hope to revolutionize Tagalog language learning, preserving the past, securing the future, and bridging generations. So the problem, about half of first-generation Filipino Americans do not speak Tagalog. Either their parents didn't teach them, they never had the opportunity or interest to learn. So that's about 1.5 million people who do not speak their native mother tongue. On top of that, traditional Tagalog language learning isn't effective. Lessons are disconnected. The learner can't relate to topics. I have an almost 500-day streak on Duolingo, which is pretty impressive, but all I can say in Portuguese is os macacos comen as massas, which means the monkeys eat the apples. When am I ever going to need to say that? Same thing with Tagalog lessons. They're not quite relevant, right? Lessons are also unstructured, they're disjointed, there's no building on foundations that make sense in a logical manner to really scaffold the development of skills. Lastly, lessons are inaccessible, whether that's due to scarcity of lessons or just logistics on getting to them. The solution I offer as Rise and Shine, we offer relevant, deliberately designed Tagalog lessons for elementary age school students that follow a developmentally appropriate curriculum, accessible online 24/7 worldwide. I'm 8 months pregnant. I got 7 minutes. I'm trying to catch my breath with all this. But as you can see, basically what we're building is relevant lessons. Rather than talking about monkeys eating apples, we're going to teach your children how to converse at family parties. How do they interact with their grandparents? How do they go to a grocery store and connect with the staff there? Also, we have an intentional structure. Lessons are built off each other, cohesive and connected. And lastly, they're accessible. As long as a person has internet, they can get on lessons 24/7 worldwide. Our product aims to be the Peloton of Tagalog lessons. For those of you who are familiar with Peloton, there's various class lengths. So let's say you only have 30 minutes to learn today. Perfect, there's a class available. 15, 10, no problem, you got it. Our target market, these fun people here, college graduate, professional, first generation Filipino Americans, ages 35 to 45, who have disposable income and also value their children being enriched by after school activities. They have a connection to the Filipino culture, but they lack Tagalog fluency themselves. However, they want their kids to learn so the language does not die with their parents. With our market analysis, our total available market globally for the Tagalog language market is 13 million Filipinos who want to enhance or learn Tagalog. From that, making it on a regional scale, using Nevada since we're here, and California due to the proximity to Nevada, and also the fact that California has the highest Filipino American population in the US, there are 95,526 Filipino Americans in this market. I hope to capture 3,343 Filipino Americans, those who are interested in learning, willing to pay, and have access to lessons. For our competitors, as you can see, Rise and Shine, we offer relevant topics, not just monkeys eating apples. We have an intentional structure to our lessons, and they're cohesive and connected, and there's also accessibility. Tagalog Kids Plus, the topics are a bit helter-skelter. They'll go from counting and letters to conjugating a verb. How is your child going to converse with that, right? The intentional structure may not be there quite yet, and also accessibility. Just with Tagalog Kids Plus and YouTube or online tutors, you're at the whim of their schedule. If you can't meet where the classes meet, good luck. Rosetta Stone and Pimsleur have brand recognition, sure. However, the way in which they talk is a bit unnatural, a little stiff, a little too formal. And it's always creepy to me when I see kids talking in a very rough, unnatural way, right? We want them to be able to connect with family and friends all over the world. And I really believe Rise and Shine can offer that. So why us? Everything I said, plus my 20 plus years of experience, I have an educator background. Not only do I have my bachelor's and master's degree in education, I have taught in the States and in the Philippines. So I've worked with kids directly. I understand their needs. I understand how they engage, what makes them excited, what makes them retain their learning. I also know how to build lesson plans and curriculum. I've done it before. And I've also trained people, not just people with formal education backgrounds, but teaching people how to teach students. So all of those facets really lend to a robust product that we're building. There's a 24/7 online access, and also we feature native speaking teachers. This is me with my 3 former students, Shaira, Ira, and Marichu in 3rd grade. Now they're high school graduates in the Philippines. I really aim for Rise and Shine to be also an employment opportunity for my former students where they can share their skills of a Tagalog native speaker with the diaspora and the States. The first traction of Rise and Shine was in 2020, very casual word of mouth grassroots promotion. I managed to serve 15 families in 3 countries, the US, all over Canada, and France. So 100% retention rate for the entire 6-month duration of classes. As you can see here, the highlights of this quote from this proud mother. Hearing her 4-year-old speak Tagalog brought her a sense of joy and pride that she never knew she could experience from a language she herself doesn't speak. She's very happy that her daughter, who is half Filipino, half Caucasian, is still retaining her Filipino roots and that the language doesn't end with her parents. With our go-to-market strategy, because of that success from that grass market roots approach, I hope to do the same using Filipino American alumni groups and professional groups, whether that's their college alum, or their professional groups, since we are targeting professionals. So your Filipino American medical associations, things like that. Also, since my clients are, college educated, have disposable income, and are interested in the culture, they are going to enjoy Filipino restaurants that target this community. Yeah, I'm fortunate to be friends with a few successful Filipino American restaurateurs. So these restaurants have been Michelin rated, James Beard awarded, and they're asking for this education to be at place in their restaurants. Where it changes is I am going to invest in digital marketing on Instagram, Google, and YouTube, because this is where my clientele live. They're on it for fun. They're on it looking for resources for their children. Our business model, if someone wants to not commit, just come to classes, $20 a class, no question asked. The monthly membership is $40 a month. If you think of it, children who do piano, music, it's typically one class a week, so $10 a week. Now, if a family commits to an annual membership, they're basically getting 2 months for free, and that $10 a week becomes $8 a week. They can totally do more classes as they want, but to me, $8 a week, that's like one boba a week. And I would think retaining language and culture is definitely worth more than one boba. So our team as of now, it is me, myself, and I, and we are looking to grow, as you can see in those positions, and that is the ask. Asking for $350,000 to help develop the product, help create the content and the platform on which it's going to be hosted, $100K for marketing and sales to get the good word out and find the people who really call for this service, operational costs with our staff, and contingency funds of $30,000. While that price is very finite, I'm asking for support to put a price on something that's invaluable, help the legacy of Anak and Bunjing continue. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much. And thank you. Okay. Leah, don't run away yet. So everybody got theirs already, but here you go. We have a certificate from Senator Jackie Rosen. So recognition. So fantastic. So thank the Senator. We're giving them out. They're from her. So thanks very much. And I'm so glad everybody was able to make it today. I'm not sure whether we have any ice cream and cookies left or not, but to the extent that they're available in there, go to town and we will see. Hopefully some of you guys are going to make it back tomorrow. And we'll see you then. And until then, until we see you in the next, in our next event, take care of yourself. And if you can, someone else too. We'll see you next time. Bye.